everybody. It's good to see you all. I hope you're excited to come back or come to the high school next year as freshmen. I am Ms. Schmidt. I'm the lead counselor. Real quickly, we have Ms. Reed, Ms. Livingston, Ms. Vincent, Ms. Linhart, Ms. Baskin, and Ms. Johnson, who will also be at the high school to assist you guys when you get there. So we're going to have a lot of information for you in the next 30 minutes to talk to you about your schedules for next year and making those selections to help educate you a little better. I know Ms. Johnson and I believe Mr. Ford came over last week to do a career assessment with you, also helping you pick out classes for endorsement and things that you would be interested in as a career focus. So without hesitating any longer, I'm going to let Ms. Livingston begin our presentation.
All right. Good afternoon, guys. So just a quick warning, we are recording today. I don't know if they told you that earlier, but we need you to be real quiet so they can hear us and hear us through our masks too, okay? Phones away, pay attention because this is really good information. It's going to be helpful for you for next year and really for the next 4 years. There's a lot of good information here. So let's start out with your grades and what you're doing right now at Howard. We're at Howard, right here at Howard, and then next year when you come up to the high school. Your grades matter. So far you've been in where you've been moving up through the grade levels, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, like that, moving up. It doesn't work that way in high school. You don't just go from 9th to 10th like that. You have to earn credits to get to that point. So you're going to want to pass all your classes, that's with a 70 or above, so that you earn a credit each semester for the course that you're in. And you're going to be collecting credits to pass on to the next grade level. Attendance is very important. I know it's important here as well in junior high. Super important. You can do really well in a class, but if you aren't there at least 90% of the time, you will not be given credit for that class. So you want to make sure that you're coming to school, you're doing your best, and you're passing your STAAR test, because we do have STAAR tests in high school. We call them EOCs, end of course exams. But really what they are STAAR tests for some different subjects. You just have 5 of them in high school. We'll go over those 5 tests in a few minutes, okay? In one of the next slides, I'll talk to you more about that. But you're gonna wanna do well in classes, attend school, pass your STAAR test, and just a couple of other things I wanted to talk to you about is your character, your behavior at school, things you do, community service, clubs that you're a part of, all of those kind of things are really important for you in high school because those are the kind of things you're going to report to colleges or trade school. The kind of things that you are accomplishing in high school are important. And someday you're going to come to one of us and ask us to write a letter of recommendation for you as you're applying for schools or jobs after high school. And we're going to want to be able to tell them all these wonderful things that you did and you were a part of while in high school. So keep that in mind. Now talking about the grade classifications. So you will be considered a freshman until you have earned 6 credits. You can do that very first year. Of course, actually you can earn up to 8 that first year. So work hard on your grades, pass all your classes. You get to that 6th credit. When you're 6.5 credits, that's when you're considered a sophomore, which is a 10th grader. You have to have 13 credits earned to be a junior or 11th grader. And then when you have 19.5 credits, that's when you're considered a senior. It takes 26 credits to graduate from high school in the state of Texas. All right, and here's how you're going to do that. So you will work with your counselor to make sure that you are taking these classes, 4 English classes over the 4 years, 1 each year. 4 math, 4 science. I'm going to skip endorsements. Social studies, you only have to have 3 actually, but most kids do have 4 because you take 1 social studies class each year. But graduation requirement says you only have to have 3. Endorsement areas are the classes that go towards your endorsement, and you will be hearing a lot more about endorsements in just a few minutes. But those are your elective classes, the classes that you are passionate about, that you choose to learn about, not just those core classes, but what you want to take. You also have to take 2 languages. Those would be the same language, so Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, not Spanish 1 and French 1. Okay, so 2 in a row. We do have 3 options for foreign languages: Spanish, French, and American Sign Language. So keep that in mind because you will be picking that class for your freshman year. You have to have a PE credit, a fine art credit, and then there's room for some additional electives in there as well. You add all that up, it gets to 26, and you're able to graduate. One more requirement was the EOCs. I think if we go back one more, down at the bottom it said you have your 5 EOCs, so I'll go over those with you real quick. Your 5 EOCs are, 3 of them will be your freshman year. English 1, Algebra 1, and US History. Then your sophomore year, you will take English 2, and your junior year, you will take US History. Pass all those, you're done with that part of the requirement as well. All right. In order to graduate with a distinguished plan or your distinguished achievement on your transcript, you will have 4 math credits, including Algebra 2. You're going to have that higher level math. 4 science credits, all the remaining curriculum credits, so everything else that you had to earn, plus an endorsement in one area at least. And then a student must earn this distinguished level to be eligible for the top 10% automatic admission. That's for college admission is what we're talking about there. All right, oh, there's that EOC slide. So that's the 5 EOCs I just mentioned to you. Right there, you can see yourself. English 1 and English 2, Algebra 1, Bio, and US History. All right, and now someone else is going to talk to you about the endorsement areas. Here's Ms. Schmidt again.
Okay, so the endorsement area, like Ms. Livingston was telling you, you need 4 credits. Just going to go over with you on these. This can be kind of confusing and long, maybe a little bit boring, but at the same time, it's your information, it's things you need to know, and so we want you guys to be prepared. But I don't want you to feel nervous or overwhelmed by it all, because we are here to help you guys. So STEM, business and industry, multidisciplinary, arts and humanities, and public service are the endorsement areas that you can choose from. And how we decide your endorsement area is by your focus on the classes that you choose. So what you like to do and your choices that you make on your schedule help you select your endorsement area. So within each endorsement, there's certain options. And so each option has a different pathway for you to earn that endorsement. So STEM has, on option A, is our career tech line. So you take all the career tech classes in that pathway to earn that option, along with finishing Algebra 2, Physics, and Chemistry. That will earn you the STEM option A endorsement. Option B is a program of study, so you're just following the course sequence for STEM. Option C is earning 5 math credits, where typically you have the 4 math credits that you need for graduation. You would add a 5th math credit to that. And if you are currently in a math Algebra 1 for high school credit here at Howard as an 8th grader, you are on track to earn 5 math credits. So you're on track for the STEM endorsement already if that's your plan. Of course, all of the STEM plans need the Algebra 2, Chemistry, and Physics along with any option. Option D is 5 science credits, so you would complete an additional on top of the 4 that are required for your regular graduation plan, which is easily done in high school. You don't have to be in a science credit now as an 8th grader. You can do the 5 at the high school. Option E for STEM is a combination of all of the other options. So you would pull some from CTE, some from math, and some from science in order to earn the STEM endorsement with option E. Business and industry, option A, and I'll go ahead with option B because they're the same essentially. But option A has most of our programs. We have ag. If you go back one, please. Ag, which has our livestock production classes, our horticulture, so plant science classes in it, architecture and construction, arts, audio, video, technology and communications, business management administration, hospitality and tourism, which is our culinary arts program. So we have a fantastic restaurant if you want to be a chef. Manufacturing is welding. Transportation, distribution, and logistics is automotive. And within these, if you stay throughout your senior year, you can earn certifications that you can take on with you to continue in a trade school or a college that would help reduce some of the classes you would have to take, possibly. Or you can also take it to a job interview and show that you have a certification in the field and possibly make more money or help you get that job ahead of someone else. So those are big bonuses to be in those programs. You can go ahead and next slide. Option C is the English elective credit in the business and industry endorsement. And this is a focus on the advanced broadcast journalism or the journalism field. So if you're interested in newspaper, yearbook, or broadcast journalism, you would take 3 years of that along with your English 4 credit and have an endorsement in business and industry. The public service endorsement, option A, has education and training, so if you want to be a teacher. Health science is anything related in the medical field. Human services is our cosmetology program. And law and public safety is another area of public service. Within health science, we do have certification areas in there for a medical certified technician and EMT and pharmacy tech if you stay throughout your senior year. And in cosmetology, you are able to have your license once you graduate if you are in that program until your senior year. So that means you could become cosmetology right out of high school. Public services option B is the related field of just course of sequence in public service classes. Arts and humanities. In this endorsement, we have option A, which is 5 social studies courses. So you can take world geography, world history, U.S. history, government and economics, and psychology and sociology. Option B and D are related to the languages other than English. You can take all 4 years in a foreign language and have an endorsement. Option C is splitting that language other than English and take 2 in one particular language and 2 in another. So you can do Spanish and French together or Spanish and sign language. Option E is the fine art. So you would have 4 credits in a fine art. You can take 4 years of band, you can take 4 years of choir, 4 years of theater, or you can also split it. You can do 2 years in choir and 2 years in theater and earn an endorsement in arts and humanities. A lot of times, students are in those 4 years of fine art and are able to also take a class in business and industry and earn 2 different endorsements. And option F is for English elective credits. This one sometimes is difficult if it's your only one you're aiming for, because sometimes we don't have all of those elective credits, so we work with our counselor on doing that set up for you. I just want you guys to know that, I know that's a lot of information and some of you are probably like, whoa, I don't know what to do. But when you pick out your class, that's really what we're looking for. So your main focus is just what class I'm interested in taking. And then we'll work with you on which endorsement that is fitting for the class that you're taking. And it is really easy to earn more than 1 endorsement. So you might be on track for business and industry, but you also are able to do arts and humanities at the same time because of your schedule and your choices. So don't get hung up on all that information I just gave you. We're here to help you guys, and we're here to pick your schedule and make sure you're taking the classes you need to and helping you take what you want to. Ms. Johnson's going to talk to you a little bit more about those endorsements.
So Ms. Schmidt did a great job on explaining that, and as she said, it can get very confusing. But as we talked last week when we were here, is the main thing is to think about is your program of study. And remember, a program of study is a pathway of courses that if you complete it will lead to an endorsement. And that is true in any of the endorsements that you follow. This is the CTE programs of study. And so as we talked about here, in this column right here are the programs of study. This next column are the courses that you would take for that program of study for your 9th grade year. And it goes to 10th, 11th, and 12th. So your course selection sheet is going to be outlined very easy for you to know exactly which course you would take during your 9th grade year. But also, one that's not listed, that's not a CTE, but it's also under the business and industry endorsement, is the broadcast journalism. And so up here on the top row, you have business and industry, and you have all of the programs of study and their pathways that fall under business and industry. You have public service, all of the programs of study and their pathways, and then STEM, programs of study and pathways. So also with arts and humanities, even in arts and humanities, there is a pathway of courses that you would take in order to earn that endorsement. So by selecting, as Ms. Schmidt said, by selecting a course on your course selection sheet, it helps them know which endorsement you would be working towards. One other thing I was going to say is, for those of you that took principal classes in the 8th grade for high school credit, and that would be Principles of Ag, Principles of Arts and AV, and or BIM, Business Information Management. On your course selection sheet, you will have options for the Principles of Ag and the Principles of Arts and AV. That will be the next level of course. You don't go back and have to retake that Principles course. So, for example, if you were in Principles of Ag, you would go on and take the sophomore level of courses. And so it will give you those options to take. Students that were in BIM, they will go back to a Principles class, but then their sophomore year, they will go into a higher level course because they took it in the 8th grade. So again, your counselors will help you throughout high school. You'll be on a path. You have to be on a path to at least earn one endorsement. That's part of graduation requirement. But your counselors are they meet with you every year, and they'll say, hey, you realize you're one course away from earning another endorsement. So they'll guide you through that process. Thank you for your attendance.
Now we're going to look at the pre-AP honors courses. Some of you are already taking the pre-AP courses this year, so y'all know that they're rigorous academic content requiring reading proficiency. Those courses also go into more depth and complexity, consistent use of higher level thinking skills. Assignments are also more analytical. There's a required commitment to course inside and outside of the classroom. Normally it takes about 1 to 1.5 times as much work in those pre-AP and AP classes, so there does need to be a true commitment there. Find your passion. You may love science. You might want to take pre-AP biology. You may love English. Take pre-AP English. Or you might want to take all your 4 core classes in pre-AP or AP. The only AP course that we offer for freshmen is going to be the AP Human Geography. So again, we do not have a pre-AP World Geography. It's AP Human Geography for the social studies. Challenge yourself. If you've never taken any pre-AP, take one. Take 2. Okay, grade point average and ranking. Ranking of all students shall be computed by numerical grades in core classes. The core curriculum classes. Core courses are used in figuring the GPA. You might ask, well, why do I need a GPA? What is it for? That goes on your transcripts when you're applying to colleges, applying to trade schools, and even filling out applications. And some employers also ask for your GPA as well. Waxahachie High School 4-point grade scale. If you make an A in a class, you get 4 points towards your GPA. A B in a class, you earn 3 points. And that's just the regular classes, not the pre-AP classes. And if you make a C in a class, it's 2 points towards that GPA. And then if you side on the right side, the 6-point grade scale, that's for the pre-AP and AP and dual credit. Dual credit you can't take till your junior year, so we'll talk about that later. But the pre-AP and AP for your freshman year, if you make a 97 to 100 in a course, you earn 6 points towards your GPA. If you go down to the about middle, a little bit lower, 80 to 84, for a pre-AP class, you earn 5 points. In comparison to a regular class, you only earn 3 points towards your GPA. And then down there at the bottom, the 70 to 74 in a pre-AP class, you earn 4 points towards your GPA, and for a regular class, it's 2 points.
Pardon this interruption, teachers. Ariana, Harry, if you can, please come to the front office. Ariana, Harry, please come to the front office.
One more thing about the grade point average, the GPA. If you're wanting to be in the top 10% of your class, graduating class, so you can have automatic acceptance to some of the universities, the GPA, taking those pre-AP classes is very important. Some of you may want to be in the top 10 of your class, and at this point, I don't know if you're going to have 600, 700 kiddos in your class, but that might be something that you strive for. And that's where you have chances also, higher GPA are some of the requirements for some scholarships. Honors course agreement. To enroll in any honors course, AP or pre-AP, a student must turn in a signed honors course agreement. We're going to give you a purple sheet if you are interested in taking any pre-AP, AP courses. When you meet with your counselor next week, if you do not have a signed honors course agreement, you will be placed in regular classes until a signed copy is turned into the office. So again, if you do not have that signed with your parent's signature and your signature, you'll be placed in regular courses until we receive that. Final due date is Thursday, April 1st at 4 p.m. Credit by exam. CBEs, credit by exams, may be taken in non-EOC subject areas. Students wanting to earn credit for a class must take and receive the CBE results prior to the instructional year which the student will be enrolled in the course. Students cannot drop a class in which the CBE has not been attempted and credit earned. The main CBE that we give is the Spanish 1 and the Spanish 2 test. If you are fluent in Spanish, you can speak it, read it, write it, you may want to consider taking the credit by exam. If you think you can score at least an 80 on semester 1 test and semester 2 test of Spanish 1 and or Spanish 2, then you wouldn't have to take Spanish in the school year. So those credits would fulfill your requirement for your foreign language. And you can talk to your school counselor here. We do have summer testing towards the middle of June to test for Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. And next we have Ms. Linhart.
Hey guys, I just wanted to go through the course selection sheet with you real briefly. You should select a sufficient amount of classes, so minimum 8 classes on your course selection sheet. What you're going to do, you're going to look at your course selection sheet once we hand it out. You're going to choose an English, math, science, and social studies. You'll choose a CTE class, you'll choose a PE or athletics and applied art. So if you're doing band or athletics, you're actually going to be double blocked. So you're only going to be able to choose 7 classes at that point, okay? Because those classes take up 2 class periods in the schedule. Things to remember when if you're currently taking high school algebra, if you're taking algebra right now in 8th grade, go ahead and select pre-AP geometry on your sheet. If you're currently taking a high school art, you must select an art 2. If you're currently taking high school principles of ag or principles of AV, arts, AV graphics, select a sophomore class. And we will help you through that when we sit down with you next week during class selections also. And freshman class for cosmetology is the principles of human services if you're interested in taking cosmetology. Honors World Geography is AP Human Geography. We do not have a pre-AP World Geography. It is a college level course. It's an AP Human Geography where you can get college credit for it if you take the exam and you pass it. Athletic, band, choir, maidens, theater, those are auditions and tryouts, and they'll determine your placement. Your coaches, the theater directors, the band directors, they will let us know which classes to place you in if you are in those programs. If more than one sport is chosen, you'll choose, like if you're playing football, if you're a football player and a basketball player, you'll choose the sport that's in the fall, which is football. Ladies, if you do volleyball and basketball, you'll choose volleyball for the fall. Okay? So just choose one sport. And like I said, we'll go over this with you guys when we sit with you next week. Band and athletics count for 2 periods, as I mentioned before. So if you're doing band or athletics, you'll choose 7 classes. Okay? And these are what the sheets are that you guys are about to receive. That's the purple form, okay? Make sure that when we sit with you next week, these 2 sheets are signed by your parents, okay? If you don't have that purple sheet and you're currently in Algebra 1 right now, and you don't have that purple sheet, I can't put you in a pre-AP geometry class. We have to put you in a regular geometry class until we receive that agreement from you and your parents. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? So the purple sheets are due to us by April 1st. April 1st. If you don't get it into us next week, when we sit down with you during registration, you're going to give it to your counselor here on campus, and they're going to send it over to us by April 1st. It has to be done, otherwise, like I said, we can't put you in those classes that you're selecting. And then schedule changes, we'll put everything in the computer for you guys sometime in the spring. We'll send out an email, you'll take a look at your schedule, at your course selections, not necessarily your schedule, at your course selections that you've made. And maybe you'll say, oh, you know what, instead of my business class, I want to do ag instead. You can make that change. You can request to make a change, but that has to be done by April 30th, okay? So we'll get in contact with you and we'll make that change. But you have to let us know by April 30th if you want a schedule change. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Yes. This is for Waxahachie High School, correct? So if you're going to global, this is the Waxahachie High School course selection sheet. Hi, I can't really hear you. Can you? How similar is this course selection? Pretty similar. So there. Hang on, guys. So if you have a question about global and their course selections, you'll have to contact global and speak with them about their course selections there.
Everybody gets green. Can you tell me that?
Everyone will receive a green course selection sheet. Please raise your hand if you're interested in a pre-AP, AP purple sheet. An honors agreement, raise your hand if you're interested in a purple honors agreement.
You can circle the number, like the course number or the course name. Either is fine in pen or pencil. Please do not mark in highlighter. We will mark your schedule and the correct choices in highlighter. So again, please do not use highlighter, use pen or pencil.